The mercury's on the rise. Good evening. This is CTV News for Friday, July 22nd. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Glad you could join us tonight. Well, we are entering a heat wave in the Washington area with temperatures reaching into the high 90s this weekend. The heat index will have it feeling a lot hotter. CTV's Sonia Srivastava has more from Springdale.
Well, that's right. With the humidity this weekend, it's going to feel like 105 degrees at certain times of the day. Now, I'm here at the St. Joseph Station here in Springdale, where firefighters are already preparing for what's to come. Feeling hot, hot, hot. The D.C. area will be under a heat bubble this weekend, as temperatures combined with the humidity will make it feel like 105 degrees. Saturday through Tuesday will be the most uncomfortable days. Firefighters in Prince George's County are being asked to hydrate starting 24 hours before their shift.
How much can this stuff weigh?
Average with the SCBA bottles, 70 to 80 pounds.
Spies says they're getting their vehicles ready as well.
What we're doing is making sure the AC units are working in all of our EMS transport units, making sure they get cold. We have plenty of IV fluids. We're making sure that we have appropriate rehab for firefighters should there be any structure firefighters or active incidents over the weekend.
If you work outdoors like these guys, it's important to stay hydrated.
Basically, pace yourself. You don't overdo it, especially for the older group. And then the younger guys, which, you know, they can take the heat, but they got to stay hydrated.
Officials say it's a good idea to get your errands done earlier in the day.
The humidity is going to be really high, so as you perspire, the humidity is going to prevent your body from naturally cooling itself. So even though you may feel adaptive to the heat, if you start to get a headache, you start to feel woozy, you need to drink plenty of water, not sugar drinks.
And we should mention that the Prince George's Fire Department has recently purchased a rehabilitation unit. It basically is a vehicle that will serve as a rehabilitation place where the firefighters can go in if they're on an active scene. It's too hot, it's too cold. They can go in there, take a break, get some water, and that will certainly help them in the next coming months. And we should mention it will go into service shortly. In Springdale, I'm Sonia Srivastava. Back to you.
And the hot weather can be especially dangerous for the elderly. The Department of Family Services is reminding residents to check on their neighbors. Licensed dietitian Kathy Stansby says seniors should make sure to always wear a hat and try to stay inside as much as possible.
A couple things that are a good idea is to slow down. If you don't have to do that yard work, if you don't have to be outside, stay in. Try to stay cool. Air conditioning is the best, but sometimes even a fan can make us feel cooler. Drink lots of fluid, lots of water. Watch the alcoholic beverages because they'll dehydrate us. We want to drink a lot of water, lemonade, iced tea, things like that. If you do have to go out, wear a hat. Cover yourself up so that you'll feel cooler. Even a cool bath or a cool shower can make such a difference in cooling you down.
Meanwhile, an air quality alert is in effect today. The National Weather Service says pollution concentrations in the region may be unhealthy for children and people who have health issues.
Meanwhile, the Prince George's Department of Recreation wants to remind residents of its cooling centers. Locations are set up at community centers all around the county for people to stop in, cool down, and even get a sip of water. Now, park officials are just asking that you check in the front desk when you arrive so they'll know you're there.
We have just over 25 cooling centers that are made up of our community centers and our senior centers all around the county, just to make sure that if residents need to come in and get a break from the extreme heat conditions during our operating hours, that they're welcome to come in and cool off and maybe get a cool drink of water or something like that.
Now, will this be available on the weekends as well?
Yes, we're open usually during 10 a.m. and 8 p.m., which are usually the operating hours of the community center, and they can feel free to come in during those hours.
And for information on a location near you, you can visit pgparks.com.
And from Cleveland to D.C., the largest union representing Metro workers is suing to reinstate a mechanic who was fired in the wake of the L'Enfant Plaza smoke incident. Suing Hali was fired a month after the January 2015 for allegedly failing to inspect a tunnel fan near the station and later allegedly lying about it. Arbitrators ruled that Hali should be suspended instead. Both Metro managers and arbitrators say Hali was not responsible for the death of 61-year-old Carol Glover or the hospitalization of scores of others. The Amalgamated Transit Union is demanding he be reinstated. Metro GM Paul Wiedefeld has issued a statement saying the company will file a motion in district court to vacate the arbitration award. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Patricia Vallone.